Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray, and I'm just plain living here.
Good morning, John.
How are you?
I'm just barely living here.
Barely living.
How are you?
We got plain living and barely living.
I'm looking forward to Easter.
Yeah, look at that
love the
little bunny
bunnies.
behind
Yeah.
you. Isn't that a pretty bunny?
Did you ever have?
Right over your shoulder. I
Did
don't
you
know
ever
if you
have
know.
a pet bunny?
No.
When we moved to London,
pet nothing.
We moved into this house that a model owned, and she said, "I'm leaving my rabbit with you." Well, I thought it's just going to be a little old tiny rabbit. Well, it was a great big, long-eared rabbit.
Right.
And it wandered from house to house, even though we had a fence. But Sinbad was the name. And we loved that rabbit. Eventually, he got to be friendly.
I think that watching some pet food commercials, there's rabbits in pet food commercials now.
And
they're talking about eating a cheese biscuit or something flavored.
yeah. And they
rabbit food.
And they tell me that a rabbit will use a litter box.
Yeah,
just like a cat. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. So
anyway.
Rabbits are, and some of them, you see some people, even in the nursing home. I know there was a girl over, I can't remember, I think it was maybe Life Care for a while, that would bring her rabbit in. And I mean, she had a rabbit that was an armful.
I know.
It was the rabbit probably weighed 20 pounds, 25 pounds.
Anyway, go out and get a rabbit.
Go out and get a rabbit. Yeah, my sweet bride, right over your shoulder, there's a new rabbit. If you look back there.
Oh yeah.
And that was a present to me from my bride.
Sweet.
To have for our Easter set was a rabbit with a pack full of eggs.
Yeah, we're suddenly close to Easter. How did that happen? It goes so fast.
I don't know, but it is. This is this
the week after next.
This is Good Friday.
Yeah.
This coming Friday is Good Friday, and Sunday's Palm Sunday. Mm-hmm. And I want to make an announcement that for a couple of years, for years, the downtown churches have had a Palm Sunday walk.
How nice.
To celebrate Palm Sunday, where the First Christian Church and sometimes the Baptist and the Episcopals and the Presbyterian are involved, and all of the people get together and walk. It usually starts at the Presbyterian Church.
That's a nice thing.
And comes up through downtown and then ends up at First Christian, and there's some words said, and then everybody goes back to their respective church for Palm Sunday services. Yeah. And we hadn't had that for a couple of years because of the COVID.
I know, and it's going to take up again this year?
It's going to be done, but it's going to be a little bit different. Everybody, instead of walking, everybody's going to meet at Caboose Park.
Oh.
Downtown.
Nice.
And it's wonderful. We went to a Vietnam veteran celebration last week there.
I'm sorry, I missed that. I had that in my heart, but I just
There was probably
go.
100 people there, Peggy. It was very nice.
I'm proud of that park.
That park, the work that's been done there, makes that a really, really nice place, central to downtown, to do things like this. And have a podium. There's a place to set out a podium. There's parking there.
I know.
Plenty of room for
nice
people to gather.
A gathering place.
And so that's going to happen this Sunday morning.
That'll be wonderful.
And that'll be, I really don't know, but our church is at 10. Our Sunday school's at 9. It'll probably be around 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, something like that. But you can check with your church or go to the website for First Christian Church downtown, and they'll know what time
that's really
supposed to take
special.
place. Yeah. Grammys. Did you watch the Grammys?
I watched a lot of the Grammys. I'm a surfer when it comes to, I wanted to see Hunter and what she was doing on The Voice or whatever American Idol. And then I go back and forth. But yes, I did watch parts of the Grammys.
Jean-Baptiste. He's a monster.
Oh yeah.
This cat is pure music all the way. He's a New Orleans guy.
Yeah.
And he won the big album of the year.
And deserved it.
But absolutely. When they came on stage, it was almost like a Prince, Michael Jackson, Elvis, all rolled into one. This cat had dancers and singers, and he's an incredible musician.
Right.
But they actually, for about 6 or 7 minutes, it seemed like, lit the stage up. It was just incredible what he did.
Yeah, there was a lot of good things on the Grammys. Stapleton.
Yes.
Did you see him?
Chris Stapleton was a representative of
I thought that song was
country.
Out of Sight. I thought that was fabulous.
Yeah. Why Are You So Cold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good, and the audience loved him.
Oh, he's a blues
He's
singer.
a blues singer.
He's a
That's all there is
singer.
to it. You know, tennis.
But his stuff is always very introspective in a way.
I think it is, and it's different from everybody else. He's not out there. I don't think he's up there to become famous. He's up there to, well, maybe
sing his songs.
But he's up there to do his songs, and he does them well, and he's a good writer.
Well, and he was a star as part of the Steel Drivers in bluegrass.
But he broke
and left
out.
Bluegrass and went into country and blues jazz type of a deal.
Yeah, I just think he's an incredible artist.
And it's just so effortless for him.
Yeah.
And his wife usually sings harmony with him. She wasn't up there the other night.
He just took that by himself, and he.
And a lot of
commanded the stage.
I was like you. I was switching back and forth to American Idol to see Hunter from Winchester.
Yeah.
And last night during the national championship game, that was on as well, basketball game.
So you
in
had
college.
to go over there.
And she made it through to the top 24.
Right.
And so now,
I'm not surprised at all.
As Lionel Richie says, it's left up to America to decide.
Mm-hmm.
The judges have decided up to this point, and from now on,
it's who votes.
Who votes?
And so I guess it's who knows the most people.
And who in America should. I've heard a lot of things in my life, not in Nashville, but touching Nashville, reaching out and swiping at Nashville from time to time, is no matter what the artists think, no matter what the record labels think, no matter what the music industry thinks, the stars are picked by the fans.
That's true. That's true.
They're the ones that request the music. They're the ones that buy the music.
They're the ones
I don't care.
They're the ones that shoot you to the top. That's true.
What the artist thinks, they're the best. Mm-hmm. The fans decide who the stars are.
Well, I'm really proud of Hunter.
Oh, she's done an excellent job.
Making Tennessee look good and just making Winchester glow.
Winchester, Tennessee. And, she was far and away last night. She wrote a song about, somebody nobody knows their name.
Yeah.
And it was her song, and it's very iffy to sing one of your own things.
I think so.
In a competition like that.
I'm glad that we're living in an era where a lot more attention is paid to the writer, the songwriter, than it has been a lot in the past.
Oh yeah.
The songwriter, and especially the singer with the song that she writes, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, she did a great. She killed it.
She is a
and
sweet girl.
Kansas beat North Carolina.
A lot.
Well, no, North Carolina. This basketball tournament has had some of the greatest games in it. There's very seldom in this tournament has there been just a killing.
Yeah.
I mean, they've all gone down to the last 30 seconds, and North Carolina was ahead at halftime, 15 points. 15 points, one of the largest leads ever in the history of the tournament, and Kansas ended up winning by 3, but they were tied up. It's like a game the other night. They had 18 lead changes.
Wow.
I mean, they just stayed. They were tied. One of them made a point.
It's just incredible to watch. I should have been watching that.
You know, but then we were watching Hunter as well. So
You're just trying to see everything.
see it all. Got to see it all.
Did you ever play basketball?
I was a pretty good basketball player when I was in junior high, and I have a little trophy that's about that tall.
Oh, sweet.
That's plastic.
Yeah.
When I was in the 8th grade, now this is 8th grade, I shot 81% of free throws.
That's fabulous. I guess you were a basketball player.
I was the same height then as I am now.
So you were a...
So I was a big kid. I was a big
days,
kid, and I've got a basketball, all tournament basketballs and all that. Well, I went into high school, and that summer between junior high and high school, everybody grew about 1.5 feet but me.
I never wanted to do much except music in my life, but I did have a turnaround in my life when I was in grammar school, because the guy that was one of the teachers put me into the basketball team, and I was so small they didn't have a suit that would fit me. But so Mama,
is that when y'all wore bloomers, when your PE clothes were a onesie?
No, it wasn't that bad.
They were a onesie?
It wasn't that bad, but anyway, it was good for me. I learned a lot of things playing basketball.
I'm sure you did. Well, I'm sure
although I wasn't very good.
You were probably a pretty agile young person.
I was, I guess.
Did you dance a lot when you were young? Or did you just sing? Was dancing part of your training to be in the biz?
I was not trained in dance. I loved to dance. I danced a lot, yes. Yeah. But no, I was not.
But you were agile. You were an agile, nimble person when you were young.
Yeah. I hope so. I hope so.
I'm sure you were. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break.
It's time to go.
And we'll be back with the rest of today's show. We have some interesting stuff happening. I've got an interview on today's show with a young man that I think we'll probably, this was just an initial try.
Yeah.
But I was very impressed with him, and it's going to be, the segment is called Talking with Thomas.
Good.
Thomas is 8 years old.
Oh, sweet. I love that.
So we're going to see what Thomas has to say, and he really surprised me in some ways, and told his mom, I said, I want him to come back, and I gave him some instruction.
That's awesome.
And he's a very bright young man, and we're going to start having some insight. You know, we're all jaded.
Oh, yeah.
By life, by money, by politics, by... An 8-year-old's not really jaded by anybody. You get the truth out of them.
I know. We don't learn the truth in time. It's too late by the time we learn the truth.
Well,
but a young person like that, they know the truth.
They don't accept anything. I asked him, I'll give one thing away, I asked him about, what do you think about politicians? You like politicians? And he said, only the ones that tell the truth.
Good for him. How fabulous.
With that, we'll be back after these messages.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books, which are donated to us by the community. Come see us, bring your books to donate, and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine.
MacArthur Manor Assisted Living is passionate about creating better experiences for our Manchester seniors. Our residents describe us in a few words.
Welcoming.
When you walk through the doors at MacArthur Manor, we'll treat you like family.
Caring.
Through high standards of personalized care, we help residents live life to its fullest.
Engaging.
With a wide range of life-enriching activities, there is something for everyone at MacArthur Manor. With our residents and staff now vaccinated, call us today to schedule your safe and personalized tour.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back. And that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
The individuals with dementia, those with Parkinson's, those that have maybe mobility issues, need caregivers. Well, those caregivers are 24 hours a day at home, and they never get a rest. And if they have to go to work, they're kind of out of luck. So that's why Trinity came into existence 25 years ago, to allow the caregivers to have a safe center where they could put their loved ones, know they would be well cared for, stimulated, fed good, nutritious meals, have activities to their level, and then the caregiver can stop by and pick them up and go on home and have some continuity into their life.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try a new section this morning on the show. I want to call this Talking with Thomas, and it's going to be a kid's eye view of the news and current events. And I'm fortunate enough to have Thomas with me today. This is Thomas French.
Thomas French.
Thomas French. And Thomas, where do you live, sir?
Bob White Drive.
In Manchester, Tennessee? Coffee County. You're in Coffee County. And your mom and dad are? Miss Rebecca?
Miss Rebecca and Mr. Ryan French.
And, you know, I heard that you are a young man that thinks deeply and has some opinions on some things. And, you know, we old folks kind of get caught up in the same old stuff.
Indeed.
And our opinions sometimes just don't change very much. And I thought it would be exciting to get a fresh view of some things that are going on around our country and around our town and in our schools and our sporting events from a kid. And you are 8 years old.
8 years old.
Where you go to school?
Westwood.
Westwood in Manchester. And I guess I'll start off with the first question. How you like school?
It's all right. You get to learn new things.
What's your favorite subject?
Greek mythology right now.
Greek mythology. And who's your favorite, who's the favorite person in Greek mythology that flips your switch right now?
Dionysus.
Dionysus. And that's one that I really don't know, so you're deeper in than I am. Who is Dionysus?
He's the god of wine and grapes.
The god of wine and grapes. You would think I'd know about that. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And so, other than Greek mythology, I mean, do they teach Greek mythology over there at your school?
Yeah, now we're learning about Greek myths now.
About what?
Greek myths.
Greek myths. So, as you're learning about Greek myths, do you think maybe that there might be some fact involved?
Yes.
You do? Do you want to expound on that just a little bit?
Yes.
Okay. So tell us why you think there's fact involved possibly in Greek myths.
So I guess they might They used it to explain Earth a long time ago.
And stuff maybe that are in the myths that we're just finding out now that might be fact, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Math, you like math?
Yes.
Pretty good at it?
I'm great.
You make good grades?
Yep.
Bet your mom and dad are proud of that, huh?
Indeed.
All right, indeed. What about sports? What's your favorite sport?
Football.
Who's your favorite football player?
Number 9 on Tennessee Titans.
Number 9 on the Tennessee Titans. I don't know who is that. Rebecca? We don't know who that is, but he's the favorite one.
Yes.
Is he quarterback?
He doesn't play anymore.
He doesn't play any. Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I understand. So, music. What about music?
We were doing Irish. Now, I think we're learning about myths in music.
You were learning about Irish music?
Yes.
What do you think about that? Is that fun? Irish music's pretty fun, isn't it? So all of your teachers are pretty good?
Yes.
Okay. What about politics? You like politics?
Politics can be bad most of the time.
Can be bad most of the time? You like politicians?
The ones that can tell the truth.
The politicians that can tell the truth. We all need to learn how to say that, don't we?
Yes.
I hear that you're pretty involved and pretty excited about the fact that Bonnaroo comes to Manchester.
Yes.
And have you been around that a whole lot?
Yes.
And what's the most exciting thing about that to you?
That you can be free in Bonnaroo.
Be free. And just go around and listen to music, and people, as long as they don't hurt anybody else, can have fun. Mm-hmm. And how do you dress for Bonnaroo? By the way, I love your suit.
Yes, it's white.
Did you pick that out yourself? I bet you did, didn't you?
No.
No? Mom did?
Yeah.
Maybe? No. She has pretty good taste.
Yes.
She has pretty good taste.
I picked out the shirt right here.
You picked out the shirt. Well, that's good. That's good. A lot of things that are, I don't want to talk about war, but you understand war, don't you?
Yeah, it's a horrible thing.
What do you think about the war over with Russia and Ukraine?
It's pretty bad because a lot of people are losing family members.
Yes. What do you think about the fact, should someone have the right just to go and start killing other people?
No.
We should have grown past that by now, shouldn't we?
Yes.
Why do you think they do that?
Maybe because they need to defend themselves, because some people can be very brutal people.
So do you think there's money involved anywhere?
Yes.
Yes. Power.
And land.
Somebody wants some power that somebody else doesn't want them to have.
And land.
And land, yeah. And land. You're very right about that. What else? What about school? Another thing that's on the news a lot is bullying. Is there bullying in your school?
Yes, there is.
And do you think that's pretty common in most grade schools?
Yes.
So who are the bullies? Boys, girls, older, younger, what? Who are the ones that do the bullying?
Older people.
Yes.
And sometimes younger people.
And boys or girls more?
I don't know, because there's other people that get bullied.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they get bullied by more.
But both can do it, huh?
Yes.
Boys and girls, we can both do it and be mean.
Yeah.
And that's something that's hard to change until you learn, get a little bit older. Sometimes it's really hard to deal with that. And one thing I like to tell young people like you is you're perfect just the way you are. Mm-hmm. You don't have to march to anybody else's drum. You don't have to meet anybody else's standards.
Okay.
And you don't ever let anybody else define your happiness. You're the one that defines what makes you happy, huh? Mm-hmm. All right. Is there something else maybe you'd like to discuss with me? What's on your mind today?
We're trying to look for outdoor furniture.
Outdoor furniture? You like being outside? You like summertime when it shows up where you can be outside?
Yeah.
Better than winter?
Sometimes I like the snow.
You like the snow, yeah. I think when it snowed a little bit, I saw some pictures of you and your mom and dad outside, and you have a pretty big family, don't you?
Yes.
How many brothers do you have?
4.
4 brothers. Do they pick on you?
No.
They never really picked on you a little bit, not even a little bit?
A little bit.
Yeah, but just sort of fun. And then you were the youngest. Now there's one younger than you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What do you think about him? You like him?
Yes.
I've seen pictures of you. It looks like you're pretty friendly. You going to take care of him? Make sure he's okay?
Yes.
Brothers always have to take care of brothers. You know, mom and dad take care of all of you, but brothers, nothing like a brother's love. And it looks like you have plenty to share.
Yes.
Okay, so outdoor furniture. Why are you looking for outdoor furniture?
So I can have a party.
So you can have a party. What kind of party you want to have?
An outdoor party. It's going to be pretty windy, so we're probably not going to have a party outdoors.
Okay. So do you like cooking out, grilling out? You like grilling?
Sometimes.
What's your favorite food?
I guess Mexican food.
Mexican?
Yes.
You like it hot? You like spicy stuff, huh? A little bit spicy?
Yes,
okay.
Sometimes.
What's your favorite drink?
Maybe a strawberry daiquiri with no alcohol.
With no alcohol in it?
Yeah.
A daiquiri without the DAC?
Yeah.
I understand that. They're pretty good. Strawberry, you like fruit? A lot of fruit? Eat a lot of fruit?
Yes.
Fruit's good for you. All right, I'm going to ask a really important question now. Can you dance?
Yes.
You can bust a move, I bet, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
Have rhythm. Mm-hmm. Sing? Do you sing? Some?
Maybe.
Play an instrument?
It depends on the instrument.
What instrument would you like to play?
I don't know. I don't have good names because I can't. I struggle with names a lot.
Well, I mean, would it be a guitar? Would you want to be a guitar or a piano? Or maybe a violin? You know Becky Buller, don't you?
No.
In Manchester, she's the violin player, fiddle player. Maybe a harmonica?
Maybe a...
Well, that's okay. You've got a whole lifetime to figure that out. Like being a kid?
Yes.
Being a kid's pretty cool, isn't it? Well, we like having you come see us. You gonna come see us again?
Sure.
You promise?
Yes.
All right. Next time you show up, we'll have some other subjects to talk about.
Okay.
This is just an introduction, and we wanted to introduce you, Thomas French, to our audience. And you never can tell when you'll see the next edition of Talking with Thomas. We'll be right back after these messages.
What does caring look like? This is what caring looks like.
This is setting an example for others.
This is rising to the challenge.
This is doing what works.
This is doing my part.
This is doing your part.
Each of us individually.
Acting as one. Keeping your distance, no matter how awkward it may seem.
This is wearing a mask.
Over your nose and mouth, like we are.
Keeping our distance.
Each wearing masks.
Not under your chin.
Not above your head. Not in your hand.
But over your nose and mouth.
This is listening to the expert. If you'll just
We're one of these.
Caring makes community.
And
This is what caring looks like.
Until COVID-19 is no longer a threat. Until COVID-19 is no longer a threat.
Until COVID-19 is no longer a threat.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
I feel like we're safe at Parkview.
There's somebody on staff all the time. So if you need help, help is there.
We are surrounded with people that are looking after us and taking care of us.
The staff is wonderful and always available. We feel so safe and secure here.
I feel safe at Parkview all the time.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. We have some of the nicest people on our show, and Sarah Haley is one of them. She's with the Tullahoma Women's Club, the president.
Yes.
And you're out trying to raise money, I think.
Yes. Yes, we are.
Anybody wants to donate, listen carefully. Let's tell them about your attic sale that's coming up.
Okay, this weekend we have the annual attic sale for the Tullahoma Women's Club. And I do want to say all of the proceeds from the attic sale benefit nonprofits that serve women and children in the community.
That's a beautiful thing to do.
So yeah, it's exciting.
And I hope everybody got it. It's going to be from 8 o'clock till 2 o'clock on April 8th, and then on the 9th it's 8 o'clock till noon.
Till noon, yes.
And so there's plenty of time.
So that's this Friday and Saturday.
Right.
And the attic sale has been going on for years and years and years, and typically is done in the fall. So we'll see if we have one again in the fall, but because of scheduling, we decided to go ahead and do it in the spring again this year.
Well, people are probably ready for it. And how do you get all the stuff up there? Are people donating the stuff from their attics, obviously?
Yes. So we've got club members who are donating. There are other members of the community and businesses who have donated items also. So we've got a mixture.
Are you still accepting items?
Yes, and we'll be setting up, but the attic sale itself is Friday and Saturday.
And I know it's at 709 Wilson Avenue. That's where you meet.
Yes, that's the Tullahoma Women's Club,
right.
The clubhouse.
So it's all inside.
And it's right next door to Trinity Lutheran Church.
Right, so you can't miss it. Wonderful place.
That's right, that's right.
And so if people have something they want to donate right now, how do they get it to you?
Probably the best way would be if they go to our Facebook page, which is GFWC Tullahoma Women's Club.
GFWC. Tullahoma.
Yes, and then Tullahoma Women's Club. They'll be able to leave a message there, and someone will get back in touch with them.
So I just wonder if you're open out there at the Women's Club anytime accepting stuff.
Well, we're not right now.
Yeah, okay. but maybe.
So, and one of the things that we have been doing with the clubhouse, just another statement, is that the clubhouse is available for rentals. So we've done baby showers, wedding showers.
Yes, I've been out there during an event that someone was having, yes.
So
nice place.
And because of COVID, one of the things that we did start doing is a weekly disinfecting. So we have a company that comes in and they do a fantastic job. They serve, I know the reason we had first heard about them, they are disinfecting several banks.
Oh, wonderful.
That I know of. And I don't know how many are in Tullahoma and Manchester. But
I'm sure that you encourage people, if you want to wear a mask. You don't have to, or
correct,
but you can if you want to.
Yes.
So I think that's probably should be, what everybody does.
Yeah.
You take care of yourself, and
That's
if you
right.
feel like you're at risk, well, wear your mask. That's wonderful. I really appreciate the Tullahoma Women's Club. You've done a lot for this community. When you say you're serving, tell that again, and name some of the places that you give the money to. I know it's nonprofits.
Yes.
For women and children, correct?
Yeah, yes. And we've helped out, of course, two that off the top of my head are Head Start and the Imagination Library.
That's great.
We've done Haven of Hope. We always help out with the toy drive with that now the police and fire departments are doing together.
And that's such a wonderful service.
It is.
I think there's so many people out there that actually hate to ask for anything, but we're in a period of time where a lot of people are needing things.
Yes.
And the service that you do and other places, organizations that do the same thing, have a great place in this community to supply things that people need.
Yes.
So, don't forget, clear your day to come to this event. Are y'all doing anything else to raise money?
That is our main fundraiser. Some of the funding that we will get from rentals may go towards that. But the clubhouse is an older building, so there's a lot of renovations that are taking place right now.
And you still have to pay the lights and
that's true. That's
and everything.
True.
And tune the piano once in a while?
That's right. There's a beautiful piano that's there, and next month we'll be painting the interior, so that hasn't been done in quite a while, so we're excited about that.
And are you seeking members?
Yes, we are. And we meet the third Wednesday of each month from September through May. We do not meet during the summer.
Okay.
And the meetings start at 10:30, so please come check us out and join us for a meeting, see if you're interested.
To my knowledge, there's no age limit on the Tullahoma Women's Club. Anybody that has some free time or interested in helping in great service, show up third Wednesdays
of each month. Yes, at 10:30 at the clubhouse.
And I know I've been there to a few meetings, and you usually serve some nice food.
Yes, there's usually a good lunch. Oh yes, there's a good lunch.
Have you had to alter that in any way since COVID?
We did. When we first started meeting back again, we were being extremely careful. So we had some meetings with no food. We had some with prepared food that was brought in.
And sometimes wrapped up.
Yes,
food.
individually wrapped. But now we are back to our club members who take role as hostess each month, and so we've had some wonderful lunches since that has started again.
I can imagine. So your meeting usually lasts how long?
The meeting lasts about an hour and a half, and there will be a program. We have a short business meeting, and then of course this one will be after the attic sale, so there won't be business
And is there any money involved in becoming a member?
The annual dues are $50, and the Tullahoma Women's Club is a member of the Tennessee Women's Club and also the national GFWC, which is the General Federation of Women's Clubs all around the country. And so we do have, part of that $50 goes to dues for the national and the state.
I know it gets eat up real fast.
Yes, it does. So that doesn't leave a lot of money for the
but still, it does help. And I encourage young and old women to get out there and join up, because I wish I had the time to get there. It's you do a wonderful service.
Well,
I think you've done
We've
stuff
been-
for the Civic Center, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we have. And one of the things that some people may not realize, and I didn't realize until I joined the club a few years ago, and that was that the Tullahoma Women's Club was a driving force in getting the library started in Tullahoma.
They were.
And the women's clubs all around the country took that on as projects in the communities that they lived all around the country.
What a great service. Well, let's real quickly tell them one more time about the attic sale, because we've got to go. There it is. Write everything down, show up, spend some money, and help out the Tullahoma Women's Club. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll be back with something else.
I got a tour and I saw all the things and I was so excited about them. And she took me to the movie theater and it had red chairs, and this is a done deal and I like it.
We have so many activities here that you just can't keep up with them all. We have exercise, we have coloring, we have crafts.
It's charming, it's attractive, it's very comfortable. It was one of the best decisions of my life.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
I was skeptical about getting the COVID-19 vaccine. There are a lot of opinions being shared. But I had the chance to talk with my doctor about my concerns. He told me the vaccines are backed by decades of research, and that the vaccines are proven safe and effective. Now I'm protected and ready to put this pandemic behind us. Join the millions of Tennesseans who have decided to give COVID-19 vaccines a shot. Visit covid19.tn.gov to find an appointment today.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, on the 26th of March, we had our 4th annual Purple Olympics at Tullahoma High School, a fundraiser, our main fundraiser for Alzheimer's Tennessee. And this year, one of our walkers to walk the Olympic torch around the gym was our coach, football coach and athletic director at Tullahoma High School, John Olive. And John was there for a couple of reasons. One, for being winning a 4A championship, state championship this year, and being selected by the Tennessee Titans as the high school coach of the year. But also, John was asked to speak because both his mom and dad have suffered with dementia. And John made a wonderful talk, as vulnerable, I guess, as I've ever seen John. A wonderful man on so many levels. Here's John Olive talking to the crowd at the Purple Olympics about his mom and dad.
My mother was a 3-time cancer survivor in a day and age when you didn't always have very good odds. I remember I was in grade school the first time that she was battling with that. But it wasn't cancer that ended her life. It was Alzheimer's. And I'm just, if you've lost somebody to Alzheimer's, then you've already walked the walk. If you have somebody that's in your family, that you're walking the walk with them right now, I hope that you find a little bit that you go, yes, I can identify, I can use that. And that's my goal here today in sharing about. My mother was Jean Olive, and my dad is Howard Olive. And basically, I moved to Maryville, Tennessee when I'm 6 years old, and so that's where my parents were whenever she passed away in 2013. Go back the year of 2010, 2011, I get a phone call. It's my mom, and she says, I need you. I need you right now. I need you to come. And this is a Saturday morning. I'm an hour behind them, so it's probably about 7 o'clock our time. I've got a TV show that I've got to do for Mr. Gray over there, and I'm sitting there trying to figure out what is going on. Knew my mother was having some problems as far as memory. We would meet people in the community that she would know, but she didn't know. She would ask my dad, Howard, who is that? After we walked off. And so anyway, on that Saturday, I go do the TV show and immediately take off and head for Maryville. On the way, I finally get in touch with my dad. Me not wanting a cell phone, I come by it naturally. So I finally get a hold of my dad, and he tells me that he had to take my mother to the hospital previous night, that she had some issues, and that whatever she tells me, just agree with her, and don't get upset or anything. Just listen to her. She wants to see you. Now, I'm one of 5 siblings. I'm not the oldest. I've got an older sister, and why my mother had called me, I'm not sure. I get there, go into her hospital room, and she starts telling me a story about how my father and these workers are working downstairs in the basement and are just driving her crazy. And to not bore you to death with it, I come out, I see my dad, and she's mad as can be at my dad. She's angry as can be at him. And he says, I'm trying to tell him what she's told me, and he says, well, downstairs means the family room. Says when she gets up in the morning now, we go from the bedroom to the family room, and she lays back down on the couch there. I fix breakfast for her, get her up, we come over to the table, she takes her medicine and eats her breakfast, and she goes back to that couch. But that's downstairs. And I said, well, what's she's talking about you and some guys doing some work? He says, I don't know. He says, there's no work going on here. And that's when we knew that she had entered into what was classified the first stage, and we used the Stanford one, if I remember right. Her doctor did, and she had hit the first stage of Alzheimer's. And was rapidly going into the second stage. She had probably already been in the first stage for a while, but she was jumping to the second stage. And the other thing that had happened in our family life, my mom and dad had told each other they'd never put each other in assisted living. And my dad was wearing himself out, as they were both late 70s, early 80s by this time period. And finally, my brother and I go see my mother's doctor, and we ask him, will you please tell my mom and dad that my mom needs to go to a facility that can give her care. Number one, my dad was having a hard time giving her the care. Number two, my dad himself was getting into trouble, health-wise. And we have a facility there in Maryville. My dad's able to go visit her every day, which he did. And we children would come in from time to time, as we all live. I'm the one that lives closest to our parents. And I can remember the last Christmas we had together. By then, you may or may not have understood what my mother was talking about. Sometimes you could, sometimes you couldn't. But she asked to pray. As we had taken all the food over there to the facility and so forth, she still knew how to pray. I go over there that spring to visit her. They're pushing her in a wheelchair down the hallway. I come up and I said, "Hello, young lady." And she starts trying to get up out of the wheelchair. "That's mine, that's one of mine, that's one of mine." And anyway, we keep her in the wheelchair and I take over pushing her. And my mother always loved to garden. And they had a courtyard of beautiful flowers there. And I said, "Would you like to go out to the garden?" She said, "Absolutely." And so we go out to the garden, and I spend probably 2 hours with her on a nice warm spring afternoon. And I'm rolling her back toward her room, and she says, "Do you know John?" I said, "Yeah, I know John." And she said, "Well, he's coming to see me today." And I said, "Well, I'm sure he'll get here." And from there, we learned not to be upset that she didn't recognize us anymore. We learned to laugh and that she would be telling me stories that I had no idea what she was talking about. The last time that I saw my mom alive, by then the Alzheimer's had gotten to her throat area and she couldn't open her mouth very wide, and she talked with her teeth clenched. And I've been there for 2 days with her. And again, we're getting ready to start a football season. I'm there in late July, early August, and I'm getting ready to get back into 80 and 90-hour work weeks. And I've been talking with her. She's been telling me, I found out she's telling me stories from her childhood. She's telling me about people that were from her childhood. I didn't know it at the time. I'm trying to figure out. I'm just listening to her, and she's telling me, talking, and it was hard to understand and so forth. And I'm there for my second day, and I've been with her for about 3 hours that morning, and I'm getting ready to leave to come back to Tullahoma. And I leaned over and kissed her on her forehead, as she was bedridden by this time. And I said, I love you. And she, through her teeth, goes, let's win them. And I looked at the foot of the bed where my daughter and wife were, and I'm stunned. I'm looking, and I said, did she just say what I think? I look back down, and she goes, we do want to win them. I said, yes, ma'am, we do. That told me she knew who I was. And I've shared that with several people that have parents, sisters, brothers going through Alzheimer's, that you never know when they're going to still find that little piece that they know you. So don't get frustrated. Don't get upset. My prayer when my mom was diagnosed, my dad asked that we just ask God to move her through the stages quickly, especially the anger stage. We were fortunate. I had an uncle. He had to be put into a facility for Alzheimer's because he was so angry. A characteristic that he had never shown to any of us as we had grown up. And it went on for more than a year. My wife's grandfather, it went on for more than 6 to 7 months. For my mother, it lasted less than 2 months. And she was never angry again. So, I thank you for the supporting of the Alzheimer's Association. I hope that if you deal with it, that you understand the stages. That was one of the things I did. I went and did some research so I could understand what was happening to my mother. Could never help her to understand. I'll never forget her asking, what is wrong with me? Am I going crazy? Am I just crazy? Couldn't help her with that. But I think my mother went through the stages about as well as you could. I told you about the cancer. So she understood she's tough. She had been through it. She was tough. Going through Alzheimer's. She never forgot how to love children. We'd take her out, take her someplace. There'd be a little child. This day and time with child molesters, we worry about what the other parents are thinking. We're trying, but she wanted to be down there next to those children. Where I am now, I've already told my children, told them, don't leave it on your mom. I'm telling you right now, put me in a facility that's designed to take care if I have Alzheimer's. Maybe, just maybe, we'll defeat this by the time our children get to be where they have to be facing the same disease. Thank you. Didn't mean to get so emotional. Appreciate it.
Clayton's has been Tullahoma's shoe store for over 120 years, and Florence Hall continues that tradition today. We're the only shoe store in town that starts with measuring your foot to make sure you get the perfect fit in a quality shoe. That includes narrow through wide widths for men, women, and children. Clayton Shoes, the family shoe store you'll love.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
Hi, my name's Bobby Carter, and I'm asking for your vote in the Circuit Court Judgeship of Coffee County, 2nd Division. I grew up in Tullahoma. I attended the Citadel and the University of Tennessee Law School. After that, I served my country as an officer in the United States Navy JAG Corps. Since then, I've been a trial lawyer in Coffee County for the last 25 years. I feel that I have the legal and life experiences to protect the citizens of this county over the next 8-year term. I would appreciate your vote in the May 3rd Republican primary. Thank y'all.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Friends, it's time for a change. Hello, I'm Scott Hansard, Republican candidate for Coffee County Road Superintendent. Our Highway Department is one of the largest departments in Coffee County government, with 640 miles of roads and bridges and budget of $3 million. It's time we start applying for grants. It's time we start using modern road building and maintaining techniques. Friends, it's time for a change. Vote Scott Hansard, Republican candidate for Coffee County Road Superintendent.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
This and that. It's conversations with John and Pat, with John and Pat, with John and Pat.
Hello everyone, I'm John Rickman.
And this is Pat Welch, and John, we're here today for segment 51.
We passed that milestone last time,
right.
And we're at 51 today.
And we made reference that management might listen to an idea of a conversation with John Pat Marathon, and we've been informed that that's probably going to be a possibility when we get a little bit more free time for production and management to work it out. But
my feeling is it'll be somewhere where there's a lull. You know, there's not much going on, and they have to have a fill-in.
Well, there's nothing like having a lull that you can fill in with something spectacular.
Tennessee Ernie Ford did a song years ago, 16 tons. I've known it for a long time. Let's don't keep it in.
Let it rip.
Well, some people say a man is made out of mud. A poor man's made out of muscle and blood. Muscle and blood, skin and bones, a mind that's weak and a back that's strong. 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and a in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I was born one morning when the sun didn't shine. I picked up my shovel and I walked to the mine. I loaded 16 tons of number 9 coal, and the straw boss said, well, bless my soul. 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and a deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. If you see me coming, better step aside. A lot of men didn't and a lot of men died. I got one fist of iron, the other of steel. If the riding don't get you, then the left unwheel. 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and a deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I owe my soul to the company store.
Wow.
You know, I dedicate that song to Charles Maddle. And you remember Tom Kaywood, who lived in Tullahoma until recently? They were both from up in Kentucky and came from that coal mining country.
Well, I didn't know Charles and Tom were from the same area.
He did. And you know, the mining company had shops in which you did your buying at the shops in the camp. And there's some sort of subscription money, maybe I'm saying that wrong, but some sort of money that they use where you could purchase things in the stores, their commissaries or whatever it might be.
Yeah, it's obvious, John, that you never have had a great affinity for personal debt, because that sounded awful soulful there when you talked about.
I think Kilgore, Merle Kilgore, wrote that song, and he wrote "Deep in the Mine, Dark as a Dungeon, Down Deep in the Mine." He knew about coal country.
That was neat.
Yes, sir. It has nothing to do with the subject we're going to talk about, I'm sure.
No, not a whole lot. I'm having a hard time coming up with a segue, but when we first got started here, we really had emphasis on local history, and we're going to go back to that theme today, John, because we're going to talk a little bit about Clayton Shoe Store, which is one of the oldest businesses in Tullahoma, and it got started in 1900. I'm not sure exactly when Couch's got started, but it wouldn't be too long after that. And the Builder Supply started in 1916. And I'm not sure how many more could compete with those three, but Clayton's has got a great history. And Florence Ratcliffe Hull, has remodeled, the present owner, has remodeled it not too long ago, and really when she came back, she really wanted to showcase some of the history that was involved in it, and she's got pictures of all the owners. And so, Philip, if you'll put number 1 up there, that is James Clayton Sr., and he immigrated into the U.S. from Newcastle, England, and he first went to Chattanooga. He was a cobbler, and he went to Chattanooga trying to engage in that practice there, and was encouraged, I would assume, by cobblers that were already there that didn't want much of a competitor. They told him that there was a need for a cobbler in Tullahoma.
That's what I used to tell real estate people.
That's right. So he moved to Tullahoma in 1882 and set up a cobbler's business, and set up number 2 there, Philip. She's also got a display of some of the early cobbler tools that I imagine that James Clayton Sr. had. James Clayton Sr.'s son was James, and to separate himself, he didn't go by Junior, he went by Zippy. And Zippy Clayton started Clayton's, the shoe store, in 1900. He had a daughter, Pauline Clayton Ratcliffe, who was Robert Ratcliffe's, who we'll get to him and his mother, and she never actually owned, or she owned the store, but she never actually worked there. But Clayton Hart was her cousin, which had been Zippy's nephew, and he worked there for a long time, and most people, old-timers in Tullahoma, will recognize Mr. Hart. He was a great employee and a great citizen of Tullahoma. His wife, Margaret, was the bookkeeper for 2 or 3 decades minimum at the Builder Supply. They were a great couple. And the next then would have been Robert Ratcliffe, who was Pauline's son. He came back.
I get a smile on my face when I see him.
And Robert was such a great person in Tullahoma, and we've had several stories about him, primarily on his stewardship of golf balls
and good finances.
Yeah, that's correct. He would have given you a soulful rendition of that working for the company store too. Especially when it came to indebtedness to the company store.
He would tape up his own tees, wouldn't he, when he'd break a tee at the tee box?
He had 2 bags in his golf cart, one of completely good-shaped tees and one of chipped that would still hold the ball up, but he was a character, but he was a great man. And then following Clayton, and there's Robert's, not many people knew much about this, but Robert served in World War II, and like soldiers that really saw a lot of combat in World War II, he didn't like to talk about it. But he went all the way up through, starting, I believe, at Sicily. After we got good control of North Africa, then we invaded Sicily and Italy and started working up. And Robert saw plenty of combat there, and it wasn't until almost just previous to his death that he was able to even talk about it. And then that brings us to his daughter, Florence, who became the owner in 1978 and is presently owns it. And I would encourage anybody that likes local history to stop in over there and see it, because she's got pictures of way back in, I believe, maybe the 30s of the shop, and she's remodeled it to try to have the same layout and so forth as they had then. It's really
we apologize that whoever took that picture had the top of your head chopped off.
Yeah, that's right. That Florence, before you go out seeking that man, it may have been me. Oh, me.
Oh, me. It's the Harton, the Ratcliffe and Florence and that group. Right. That group of people you mentioned.
Right.
Fabulous people. That's what made America great.
That's right. Robert's mother, Pauline Clayton Ratcliffe, she actually lived in, and her husband, Mr. Ratcliffe, they lived in Selma, Alabama. And when Robert been in high school, which had been the mid-30s, I believe, they felt like our school system here was better than theirs, and they sent him to live with his uncle.
Still is.
And it's right. That's exactly right. And that was the house next door to the Hartons. So when Robert married Alice Harton, that was a marriage that came from 2 neighbors.
Well, yeah. Hey, we're getting a signal.
Getting a signal that it's over. Well,
but it's been so much fun.
That's right. Back to local history. Segment 51 is in the books, and we hope to soon be back for segment 52, John.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, everybody, and thank management for this possibility of the marathon taking place.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat, with John and Pat, with John and Pat.
The Bookshelf in Tullahoma is the fundraising arm of the Coffee County Literacy Council. Since 1988, the Literacy Council's goal and purpose has been to support and promote adult basic education in Coffee County. We enable individuals to complete their high school equivalency exam, which helps them get better jobs or continue into higher education. The Bookshelf at 114 Southwest Atlantic Street in Tullahoma is where we sell used books, which are donated to us by the community. Come see us, bring your books to donate, and join us as you find every genre of books that you can imagine.
MacArthur Manor Assisted Living is passionate about creating better experiences for our Manchester seniors. Our residents describe us in a few words.
Welcoming.
When you walk through the doors at MacArthur Manor, we'll treat you like family.
Caring.
Through high standards of personalized care, we help residents live life to its fullest.
Engaging.
With a wide range of life-enriching activities, there is something for everyone at MacArthur Manor. With our residents and staff now vaccinated, call us today to schedule your safe and personalized tour.
I had a knee replacement, so they've got me in life care, which I'm very, very thankful for. I couldn't garden, I couldn't do my flower beds, I can't chase my little dogs. I have been in several therapy sessions for knees and back, and that's the best therapist I believe I've ever been to. It's tremendous because I'm able to walk again, but if it wasn't for the care, I wouldn't be where I am.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate, Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
The individuals with dementia, those with Parkinson's, those that have maybe mobility issues, need caregivers. Well, those caregivers are 24 hours a day at home, and they never get a rest. And if they have to go to work, they're kind of out of luck. So that's why Trinity came into existence 25 years ago, to allow the caregivers to have a safe center where they could put their loved ones, know they would be well cared for, stimulated, fed good, nutritious meals, have activities to their level, and then the caregiver can stop by and pick them up and go on home and have some continuity into their life.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
You know, Peggy, I like Christmas. We all like Christmas.
Well, who doesn't like Christmas?
Christmas is a wonderful time of year. But I think my favorite holiday is Easter. And the reason why is because wintertime's gone. And
the blooms are coming in.
Flowers are
Beautiful
blooming.
time
And
of year.
it's a season of rebirth.
Right. We all need that.
And it's the season that everybody writes songs about Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas songs. Oh, well, there's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Mama Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
Well, there's not many Easter songs.
But Easter songs are usually choral songs.
Yeah.
And I thought one time I'd like to write an Easter song.
Did you write one?
And I wrote one about the crucifixion, looking at the crucifixion through the eyes of the cross.
Very nice.
Called Two Pieces of Wood.
Have you got it with you?
Yeah, and so I wrote that, and I thought, well, that's just part of the story.
Yeah.
That's the crucifixion. What led up to it? How did we get there? What happened afterwards? So I wrote 5 pieces.
Well, let's get
And this is called an Easter Omnibus, and I've read it before. But this Friday, this is Good Friday, and then Palm Sunday this weekend. And the first one I wrote, not the first one I wrote, but the first one in the omnibus is entitled "Of Burrows and Boughs." Lord Jesus journeyed toward Jerusalem. The time for his sacrifice had finally come. He humbly marched to no fanfare or drum. The burden he bore left his body numb. So weary from travel, he could hardly go. He sent to Bethpage for a young burro. Christ crawled on its back, then slowly went on, as the word of his coming spread like the dawn. When he reached the city, a crowd lined the streets, waving palm branches, throwing boughs at his feet. They searched for a Messiah that would save them from Rome, but he was the path to their heavenly home. Triumphant he entered as the animal trod. Triumphant he ascended to the right hand of God. Of burrow and boughs I spin this tale about a heavenly gift that followed a trail set forth by the Father, whose will would be done to secure our salvation through his only Son, who came to Jerusalem to make good God's vow, riding a burro on a carpet of boughs.
That's pretty, John. Very well done.
And then this is the original one that started all of this. This is Two Pieces of Wood. There was a man, a mystical man, who traveled an ancient land. And all who paused, all he passed were altered by his words and the touch of his hand. The fishes he fed, the loaves of bread, the water turned into wine. On a mount he talked, on water he walked, and gave sight to the blind. All who saw believed, but few really understood until the world was changed forever by 2 pieces of wood. 2 pieces of wood from the last straight dogwood tree made a cross that held the Son of God on the skull of Calvary, a Savior who shouldered the sin of mankind, the essence of all things good, the Holy Trinity there for all to see on 2 pieces of wood. As a child he taught the elders. The man soothed the whore at the well. The tax collectors fled before him. The children loved the stories he'd tell. But Rome saw him a threat, so Pilate was given a choice. Put this prophet in his place, or see all you hold dear destroyed. So he was tortured and put on a cross with a thief on each side. When the crowd chose Barabbas, the Christ was crucified on 2 pieces of wood. From the last straight dogwood tree, a cross that held the Son of God on the skull of Calvary. A Savior who shouldered the sin of mankind, the essence of all things good, the Holy Trinity there for all to see, nailed to 2 pieces of wood. Yes, the world was changed forever by just 2 pieces of wood.
That's very touching.
And so what we'll do next week, on Easter week, we will read the other 3 pieces and take you to from the crucifixion through the resurrection and the ascension.
That's wonderful.
And that'll be the end of that story.
And you will have the whole
Well, no, that story never really ends. It's with us forever and ever. Amen. That'd be forever and ever.
Right.
Amen.
I'm very touched by the way you write it. That's really, really
Well,
very good.
it's very important to, and I told little Thomas in that interview, and I can't wait to have Thomas come back because, it was like a fishing trip for me I was throwing all the bait I had to get out there and see if I could pull him out. And, after we finished, he crossed his little leg and he sat in that chair sort of like Peggy, had his hands down there, looked at me, and he said, "Now, what do you want to talk about?" And I said, "That's the kid I want to see next time you come."
Maybe you need to ask him to supply a couple
I
of
did. I said,
Good.
next time you come, I want you to bring
good,
the information. I want, and I'm going to call Rebecca and be sure that she understands. I want him to go be a reporter. I want him to find subject matter that interests him and come in here and ask me questions about it. But he's a very bright young man, and we had a lot of fun with Thomas. And I can't wait to get him back because, I just respect and dearly love his mom, Rebecca, and she is such a delightful young lady. And they're very, very, very involved in Bonnaroo, of course, because Manchester.
Right.
And last year when they all of a sudden, because the grounds were flooded, had to cancel, she and Ryan and their friends over there have had a lot of the people who were going to play at Bonnaroo came to Manchester anyway and played in different locations around the town. They set up their own deal to help satisfy, and a lot of the people who had journeyed to Manchester for Bonnaroo and got there and nothing was going to happen.
So they at least got a chance to
They heard some music and were entertained and had fun, and so Rebecca sews and makes her own costumes, and she's just incredible.
Did she make that suit?
She very well might have made the suit Thomas had on. But we'll see. I'll guarantee you, when Mr. Thomas comes back, he will be quite properly attired.
Right.
And it was a lot of fun with them.
Maybe I need to mention that we have 9 to 5 another weekend at the Civic Center
Yes,
this weekend.
and I've heard it's a good show.
Yeah.
A lot of fun, a lot of good music,
A lot
big
of good
cast.
laughs, and the high school play, was it last weekend or is it this weekend? I'm sorry.
I think it was last weekend.
I think it might-
no,
well,
maybe it's this weekend.
That was a fabulous group.
Oh, yeah. And, there's some, you need to keep your ear to the ground about some of those young people that are not just only at the high school performing, but at South Jackson performing, because a lot of these seniors that are moving on have gotten great accolades and will be going to some very prestigious places to study by scholarship, and some very famous places. And it's not our place yet to announce those things.
Right.
But when it's time to announce, you'll understand what we're talking about. And Hunter Wakanoski from Winchester, Tennessee.
I know,
Congratulations,
it's just so
girl.
awesome that she's doing so well, and
Made it into the top 24 on American Idol.
so often a lot of great talents get overlooked.
And what did you
Hunter
say?
is not overlooked.
She was on South Jackson Goes Country at least twice, I remember. And the first time you saw her, what did you say about
Well,
her?
I just knew for a fact that she was going to be a great star because she was driven then, and she was a good performer. She was writing her own music, and that's unusual for a young person.
Right.
And I would encourage all people, don't be afraid to write write your feelings, write anything you want to, but it might turn into a song, it might turn into poetry, it might relieve a lot of stress.
Well, you need to put, and I told Thomas, you need to put your stuff down, put it in a book, keep it. You're never too young to start doing that, because one of these days you'll look back and go, oh, I remember that. And one of these days you'll look and go, oh, I remember John and Peggy on the Living Show, and when I was in Tullahoma, Tennessee, because we're here every week bringing you all we can find to keep you entertained and informed. And we thank you, bless you, and enjoy your Palm Sunday and Good Friday. Are you going to be good on Good Friday?
I'm good every day, John.
That's what I've heard. We'll be back next week, folks. Thanks for watching.